Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our Sages Retreat podcast. Hang on a minute. What's that sound?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. It's our Christmas special.
Oh, what on earth are we doing? Oh, Nathan.
Merry Christmas and welcome to the Christmas special edition of Sages Retreat, where we cover films, music and old memories of Christmas past. I'm going to hand over to the Grinch himself, Lee, to start us off today.
Calling me a Grinch is absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Oh Lord. All leading up to Christmas, all I do is whinge about it.
Yep.
You've probably seen me on Facebook whinging about it. I whinge to people on Facebook who are, oh, it's Christmas, it's Christmas. Yes, Steve, I'm looking at you, mate. When it's like September and October and you go in, oh, it's Christmas soon, I just want to punch you in the face.
Yep.
I'm quite clear. It frustrates me.
Get Halloween and Bonfire Night out of the way, that's what I think. At least.
After that, it's very close to being, that Christmas time where you can start thinking about it. I mean, you can think about it all year if you want, but when you're throwing it in people's faces, I think it's annoying.
You get a bit sick of it, don't you, as well? So it's too much.
You know, like when you're walking through Wilco's and you can hear Christmas music, and it's like, what are you doing? It's November, and they do that. It's like, it's too early. For me, up until probably 2 weeks before Christmas, I couldn't care less about it. I hate seeing it. I hate talking about it. I despise Christmas music. I mean, we'll have a bit more of a chat about Christmas music soon, but like especially when you hear, because some shops, they don't have the licenses, do they, for like the proper singers, the original. So you get like these like crappy singers that are doing it with the music that sounds a bit off, and it's like, come on, Wilco, sort your shit out.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost for you to actually have the originals? Because people, if I heard the originals, let's go Christmas music right now, because I've already started talking about it, so we might as well carry on. So come up to that 2 weeks, you might catch me if I put some music on in the kitchen. If Christmas music comes on, I won't skip it. In fact, I'll gladly sing away to it. I do like a lot of Christmas songs. However, when it does come to Christmas music, I'm 100%, as you would say, I'm a basic bitch. I like my old classics, mainly because of being around my grandparents. I like the old Band-Aid song. Just give me those fun ones that you can just sort of sing away to, and I'm on it. I'm 100% on it all the time. But if I hear Michael Bublé, I will skip him because he milks it. And I think, to be honest with you, if you're not over 40 and a woman, you've got no business listening to Michael Bublé.
I cannot
I'm a straight out say he's a crooner. He's all about that. He's all about that, getting them old women swooning at him. Oh, it's Michael Bublé. No, just fuck off, Michael Bublé. I hate you. I hate your face. I hate your music. I hate your voice. He's got a face like a slightly melted marshmallow, and his voice is just irritating. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can't do it.
He's very smarmy, and I can't stand that.
Yeah. I think he's got himself penned as a Christmas singer and that stuff. You don't see him any other time, do you?
No. They only bring him out for Christmas, don't they? So
That's it. He's like a pair of warm socks that you bring out at Christmas, even though they're knackered and you're sick of them, but they keep your feet warm. Just get rid of him. So, I mean, there are some Christmas songs. What's that one? It's Christmas. I hate
Slade,
that.
Yeah.
Slade, that's it. Good luck. I can't remember what it's called. I'm rubbish at remembering names and stuff. There's the George Michael one, which I really like.
Yeah.
Even a bit of Mariah Carey, I can put up with her a little bit. I won't purposely put it on, but if it comes on, I can listen to it and I can get through it. Just hoping. I don't like it. There's no good new Christmas songs. Like you'll get people that will bring out a Christmas song and it's like, all right, that was trash. Just I'll just stick to the old ones that I know, and you just kind of get on with it, don't you? But yeah, have you got any Christmas favourites when it comes to music?
Yeah, only two. Well, I like them all, apart from the Mariah Carey, because that's my wife's favourite song, and we have to hear it a million times over Christmas, and I don't.
It does become repetitive and cheesy when you hear it once or twice. It's like, okay, there she is, And then it's like, oh, there's a third, a fourth, a fifth. Yeah. Every day you hear it twice. You go shopping, you hear it, and then it comes on the radio at home, and it's like radio, or like the Christmas playlist or something. It's like, I've had enough.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But my favourite is Fairy Tale in New York by Pogues. That's
yeah.
That one. It's a bit of a tradition here in Sheffield. They play it at the end of the night in a nightclub, so it reminds me of being out, being drunk, blaring that out. And it's a good song anyway, I think. I know they've done a rechange of it because there's an offensive word in it.
I still sing that word. I'm happy to just sing that. But you know what? I'm a bit more like I don't think about it too much. But if you do think about it too much, it becomes offensive.
Yeah.
Take it for what it is. It was an old song. It's what they say. I think it's so. I mean, we have to be politically correct with a lot. I can't even say it with a lot of things, but. Just say, if you don't want to say the word, don't say it. Or just say it because it's just a song that was written. Just get over it. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a slur towards gay people, isn't it? Saying the word faggot is a bit of it has an impact, and it's it is a nasty word. But I don't even know why she says it. It seems like it's when they say she says the line, I'm like, I remember first hearing it and not being bothered by it, but then when you hear it and it's like. It's really out of place. It's really out of place, and I mean, I'd be happy with hearing that song without that word, and just you just get on with it, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they've changed it to, but it don't make any difference to the song. It don't think. I always presumed that they sang it, and it was because obviously it's Irish. It meant as a child, I just presumed it meant something different in Ireland. It would like less offensive or used to describe someone in a different way, so that's why it never really bothered me. I know obviously people take offence to it, but whether it's in or not, I don't care.
Maybe it is less offensive. Maybe in the way they said it was less offensive.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a fun word that they would say.
Yeah. I mean, it could mean just light because the theme of that part of the song is that he's like a waster, he's a layabout. So I presume that's what it meant. He's like, is just no good. And that's what I always presumed it to mean, rather than a gay slur.
Quite like the "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch." You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. I love that. That's not one you hear on like Christmas lists, but that song is "White Christmas," the old Bing Crosby song. Amazing. That's what I would hear my granddad listening to. Just things like "Silent Night" by. I think it was Temptations. Elvis has got a couple of Christmas songs. A Blue Christmas, isn't it, that he sings?
Yeah.
There's plenty of. Yeah, definitely. I like a bit of Elvis every now and again. I think he's overrated, to be honest with you, but I do like a little bit of Elvis now and again. It's perfectly acceptable. I was just looking through an old list. I did find one called "Backdoor Santa." Not quite sure what that's about. I don't want to listen to that one.
Yeah, maybe don't Google that one.
But that's been covered by Bon Jovi, the Black Crowes, and various people. But I have no idea about that. Oh, what is that? What is that one that they're all moaning about as well? Is it "Baby It's Cold Outside"?
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit rapey?
Yeah, that was last year, weren't it? And that seems to get dropped pretty quick. But yeah, that is a bit. It does sound like he's forcing himself on a woman a little bit in that song, so I could
Maybe it's cold outside.
Yeah, so it's like sounds like he's enticing her into a car or something. Like, come with me.
Yeah, you've opened the door and the post lady's there, and she's like, and you're just going, "Hey, baby, it's cold outside." Or just dragging her in, putting her on the carpet in front of the fire and feeding them mince pies. Or, it's a good song though. I do like the song.
There is another song that I annoy kids and Jade with quite a lot. Shakin' Stevens, "Merry Christmas, Everyone." Because
I know, is this a fact, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a fact regarding to me because it was number one when I was born. So every single time it comes on, I have to say that to kids, and they're like, "We know," but I still say it every year. I've already said it about 8 times this year.
It was on yesterday in the kitchen, and I was singing away to it, and I just went, "It was Nathan's song."
Yeah, it's my number one song.
That's the song of your life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my only claim to fame, and it's not even a claim to fame. So
no, it's good though. It's good.
Yeah, I do like that as a Christmas song. It gets you a bit more Christmassy and a bit more in the mood. I mean, I'm not a fan of. There's two more which I'd say are more recent. They're not new. What's it called? Darkness. Don't Let the Bells End. I mean, that's an alright song, but that's not. That's a new
Darkness.
one.
They were out like what 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah,
or something.
just in Orleans. Yeah.
That's it. He had the long hair and the like the jumpsuit.
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
He had a bit of a Queen vibe going.
Yeah,
off to him.
yeah. But it's an alright song, and then there's one my mate always sends at me every Christmas. Bo Selector's one, Proper Crimbo.
I hate Bo Selector. I hate the song
Yeah.
as well. So forget it.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind Bo Selector, but I always seem to have to listen to that every Christmas. I mean, it's not a bad song, but it's nowhere near a good song. Or if it disappeared and I never heard it again, I wouldn't pine for it over Christmas. So
I wouldn't remember it. I think if it went, I'd be in someone. If I heard it like 10 years later, I'd go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." I wouldn't have ever at any point gone, "Oh, I wish I could hear that song again."
Yeah.
No.
I'll download that off iTunes and keep that. No.
iTunes. People
Yeah.
still use iTunes. Yeah.
Well, apparently.
Yeah, but yeah. Spotify. I asked it for the UK. What did I ask for? The UK top 50. Sometimes I'll do that. Like if you're pottering around in the kitchen. UK top 50, and it was like all Christmas songs. I was like, oh, what's going on? Give me a break. But it's my 2-week thing, so I'm okay. I'm okay for it now. Christmas spirit creeps in, but before that, I'm like, no Christmas. Oh, ban it. Nothing. Don't have anything to do with it. So yeah, Christmas songs. Going off from Christmas songs, obviously a lot of them are from the past, and I think most of our, I say a lot of our favourite Christmas songs are from years ago, and I think a lot of my memories of Christmas are from when I was little, and I think those are some of my better memories of Christmas. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm so miserable about Christmas, and it's always a bit of a bone of contention with my family. It's like, oh, Dad hates Christmas, and I've never really understood why. But I think a lot of it's because Christmas was always family. When I was little, we always used to go to my grandparents and have Christmas. It was Christmas tea. We didn't have Christmas dinner. Christmas dinner was always on a small table, and just with my mum. And Christmas tea, we'd always go down to my grandparents. We would always have a trifle. We'd always have like sliced meats, and it's a very sort of traditional Christmas tea. There'd always be like loads of mince pies. You could pretty much eat what you wanted, really. There was a jelly, just randomly. It was always like a jelly. And I think because that's all gone, like my Christmas is all what I knew it. It's all kind of. My grandparents have both died. I don't see one of my uncles anymore. Who I should make an effort to go and see him. I can't blame him. We just don't see each other anymore. And I don't really see my mum at Christmas either. So it's all. And I think it's just I miss that. It hurt me a lot when my grandma was like, "Yeah, we're not doing Christmas tea anymore." And I was like, and I said to my mum, and I was like, "Well, we can just go down there and put it all together. It's not." And it was like, no, they just don't want to do it. And it did really annoy me because I'm like, okay, I know you're old, but you're not dead. That was the way I looked at it. I'm like, okay, so you're really old. What, have you just given up on Christmas? Is Christmas now a day where you just don't see anyone and you just want to be on your own? I mean, I don't know. It kind of, it really, it messed my view of Christmas up. I think quite a lot. It's like it does sound a little bit ridiculous when I say it now, because clearly could have just carried on the way we were. But I used to enjoy that. That was like my highlight of Christmas. It wasn't necessarily opening presents. It wasn't having Christmas dinner with my mum, because it was just me and my mum. It was, in fact, if anything, that was quite miserable. And that sounds horrible. But just two of you sitting at a table, it's like, I had that all year. And then that seemed quite low. Looking back at it, it's a bit lonely, actually. But yeah, my the way I look at Christmas now, and it's I don't know. I mean, obviously we spoke about family. I've got a big family, so that's very similar to yourself, and it's I should be, oh, Christmas, Christmas for the kids, but when they were a little bit. I mean, my youngest is 11, but when they were all younger, it was a little bit better. But now they're older, you know, like 2017, and they a little bit, and because especially like this year as well with money. I mean, and this, you know, being furloughed or not working, it's really affected you look at Christmas, because Christmas is all, I'm getting miserable now, Christmas is very much money orientated, isn't it? You know, it's like, even if you say, look guys, we're not buying we're not going to buy any presents, there's still the fact that they have friends at school who will all be getting, you know, some of them are in exactly the same position. You know, some of them have parents that don't have a lot of money, some of them have parents that normally have excess money but are furloughed, and or even just been out of work or lost their jobs. But there's that pressure of, there's always that kid who's like, yeah, I got a Switch, I got the brand new Xbox, I got myself a nice 55-inch TV for my bedroom, because clearly you need that. And or, you know, I got all these clothes with these designer names on it, and I think that attitude over lots of years of seeing it, of just part of that, I think, has made me just hate Christmas. I mean, I'd like Christmas to be, you all get a couple of little presents that you want, a couple of gifts that you want. Oh, there's this book that you was after. Oh, I'll get it. I mean, it's up to me. I'd scrap it all together, because Christmas, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but Christmas, I find as a whole is massively fake. You know, obviously, what is Christmas? Christmas is Jesus being born, connected heavily to religion, and I'm not religious. My attitude to religion is it can all just go away. That may, you know, tickle people the wrong way, but I hate religion. It can go away. It has no part of my life. The Christmas being attached, obviously, to religion originally, but now it's if it was that, I'd be fine with it. You know, if I was religious, if it was a thing that we did, I'd be fine with it. But it's not. So in a way, Christmas is less of a celebration as more of just a thing that we do each year. Like, in a way, like kids look at bonfire night. Oh yeah, it's bonfire night. We just do fireworks and have a big fire, and we have some hot dogs, and sometimes we go on a very expensive ride at the fair or something. If that's or you do it in the back garden. It doesn't mean, obviously there's a history to that, but the history to it means nothing now. In the same way the history of Christmas means nothing. Even the history of Christmas is a lot of people don't realise it, but it's all, the majority of it is linked to paganism, and you if you try and tell that to a mainstream Christian, they'll look at you like you're crazy. But yeah, for me, Christmas was really special, and parts of it still are now, you know, but a lot of it is just, I feel like a lot of it is struggle, is trying to keep the kids sort of happy, but also trying to train them to understand that Christmas doesn't mean as much as what society thinks it is. And I guess it is my Grinch coming in. It is my Grinch, my Scrooge, and that's just the way it is. I used to get a lot of presents as well when I was little, like too many. Like, I used to get a lot. My mum used to go crazy at Christmas. And looking back on it, I'm thinking, as a kid, I was probably spoiled, and I can't do that with mine, and it just makes you feel miserable, doesn't it? It's like, I can't do that. I can't give you this. Like, you'd have a Christmas tree, and under it, like 90% of what was under there would be mine. If you think of a kitchen table, like a normal sort of 4-person, you could fill a table, just fill it and stack them high, and I don't know, it was too much. I don't know why. It's like overcompensating for something. I don't know, but I used to look forward. I mean, half of it used to be probably chocolate or whatever. But, yeah, it was just too much, and I just can't do that. We have done that in the past, but we can't do that nowadays. Our Christmas things what we do now is that we tend to go to Karina's mum's house. If not for dinner, we won't be going Christmas Day this year, but I think we're trying to go New Christmas Eve. The buses are all running, so I think we're all going to go Christmas Eve. Just for a couple of hours, really, just to say hi, and, you know, just have a little something to eat or something, and then we'll come home. But leaving the dog here, so that'll be fun. I'm not sure there'll be anything left of the kitchen when we get white, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, memories of Christmas and what it means to me. Maybe if I have grandchildren, maybe it will be a bit different.
Yeah, I think that'll ignite it in you. Then that'll give you a bit more Christmas spirit. Make your heart grow 2 sizes.
Maybe. What about yourself when it comes to like Christmas?
Well, as a child, we were the same. There were me, our eldest, my brother, which was like 18 months younger than me, so we're basically the same age. And then my sister, which is like 5 years younger. I have got other brothers and sisters which are a lot younger from my mum's second marriage, but for the purpose of my childhood, it was just the 3 of us. My mum and dad used to go mental with presents. We were like same as you. We don't do the same as what I did, because I was trying to think on lead up to this what presents I got, like what I can remember, because we used to have like hundreds and hundreds of presents, and I can only really remember 3 that stuck out as ones that I wanted and that I enjoyed, that was spread over like a number of years. It weren't all in one Christmas, and I can remember getting I used to love Action Men, like the figures,
the fuzzy hair and the little switch on the back.
Eagle eyes, where you'd sort of turn that big.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a snowboarder, Action Man. I don't know why he was snowboarding, but he had like a proper little puffer jacket on and ski boots, and he proper looked good, and had a snowboard and guns and all sorts of stuff. And then my mum bought me like an Action Man Jeep, and I'm trying to explain how big it is now. It was massive. It was like a utility Jeep.
I remember having, as a small person, an Action Man Jeep was if you were to hold your hands out just in front of you, like straight, kind of, if you can see the video like that, it would be that big.
Yeah.
Like literally be that big, and you'd be able to fit your 2 Action Men in, and then at the back it would have a little storage area, clearly to put your guns in or something. But yeah, they were big. The Action Man Jeeps were big. Yeah. Big plastic wheels.
Right, chunky.
Chunky grips on them. Green with the window. I have a feeling that the window would fold down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can. It's very basic, I think. They're very, very effective.
Yeah.
Pretty cheap, kind of cheaply made, but enough that you could like lob it down the stairs because there was something going off. Action Man, go down the stairs. I used to have a really cool. My stairs had a banister at the top, like not a banister. The banister would be on the side like a railing, and I remember having some string. And I would tie my Action Men to it and like throw them off, so they were like rappelling down the stairs. Yeah. Brilliant. I wouldn't like if you give me an Action Man now and a piece of string, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. But as a child, like an Action Man, would be. I had loads of Action Men. I think what I really like, just going off that, would be. I used to love my He-Man figures. Yeah. So I never really had Thundercats figures. I think I maybe had. I think I had Lion-O, and I think it was one that was bought off like a flea market or something. And I think I had Chitara, maybe Panthro. I didn't. I would have loved the full set. In fact, you know what? I might even buy a full set, just for having on display somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, Action Man figures is a fantastic memory and a gift from that kind of like 80s to early 90s. Yeah. I think you can still buy them now.
And I wondered that because I never see adverts for it on telly or anything like that. And when I were a kid, it was massive Action Man. Everyone had. There were loads of different types of them, and everyone seemed to have them. I had loads, and every accessory that could go with. I think the snowboard one actually had not a jet ski, snowmobile. Pretty sure it did. Yeah. Yeah. And then I had a jungle one with a tattoo, and then I got a tattoo the same as him, like a transfer one.
Was the one that had like paint on the face?
Yeah.
Like maybe like a green and like a black maybe on the face. Yeah, you get one with like beards that had been painted on, so not actually fuzzy. But my favourite Action Man was the one you mentioned that had the little switch, and it used to every time you switch it, the eye was like, look, it's so cool. You could pose him and have his eyes looking over.
Yeah.
Like his head would be one way, but his eyes would be looking at us. So God, yeah, Action Men. It's a good one. I'm actually just Googling Action Men now to see if there's still a thing, and there is a website called actionman.com, and there is a shop, and you can still buy Action Men. I'm assuming that they're all like new ones, and they're not. But there's Action Soldier, there's Ski Patrol, ski shoes.
Yeah.
I had an Action Man with the big, like they're like tennis rackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had that. There was a sailor. I had the sailor. What else was there? There was a pilot that had an orange jumpsuit, white helmet, and a blue visor.
Yeah.
Had that one. I had the standard soldier. Oh, there's actually a Bobby Moore limited Action Man. I'm not sure what action he's going to be getting involved in. But yeah, there's just the figures on here. There's nothing else. I just went on Argos and googled Action Man, and they weren't on there. But they don't want. It's a bit toxic masculinity, isn't it? They don't want to force Action Men on little boys because. Oh no, they won't want. Let them choose. Little boys choose Action Man. Trust me. You give an Action Man, they're going to be like, "Oh my god, it's an Action Man!" And they're going to run to their sisters and smash in the Barbies, aren't they? When I say smash in, I mean like hit them with, not hit them with it. Not what else that could mean. That's not although imagination. But yeah, Action Man is a brilliant one. There's loads of great old toys. Do you remember Boglins?
Yeah, I always wanted one. And I think I got one, but it were from a car boot sale, and because they come in like a cardboard box, didn't they? That were like a wooden crate sort of cage thing.
And it had a metal bars.
Yeah.
Like the front were plastic, and then one of them was like bent, like it was going to be like escape. Yeah. I had a Boglin. I'm just scrolling through some old 80s gifts just to see what there was, and that is exactly the same one I had. To be fair, they're pretty stupid. It just looks like a mountain of snot with eyes.
They were a must-have toy though. Everyone wanted them. They had adverts constantly over Christmas for Boglins.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Can you remember that teddy bear that were like a monster? It were like purple and yellow, I think it were, and because they did some other ones after that you could turn inside out, so it'd be like a nice, I don't know, like a dog or something, or a bear, and then you'd turn it inside out and it'd be like a werewolfy sort of thing or something. But they were always a monster teddy that I can always remember. It looked a bit like a Monster Munch like spokesperson reject.
I think I know exactly what you're on about. Let me just type scary purple bear 80s toy. See, was it a werebear?
Yeah, I think it were a werebear.
Because I had werebears. I remember having a werebear. There was so it's a cute bear. Okay, there's not many good pictures on there. Let me actually look up werebear. Sorry if you're on the audio, this is not very interesting. Werebear D&D. Oh no, there's a D&D. There's a werebear in the D&D. No, werebear toy. Images. Let me have a look. So there's a red and yellow one, blue and pink. There's a dark blue, which kind of purplish with like pink. And they had like some of them had like little shirts on, and you could like do something to them, couldn't you? And then they would go from. Was it? Was it that you put them inside?
I think it were that you put them inside out.
Yeah, I do definitely remember those. There was some other bears as well. Oh, there's a guy on YouTube that's got like all of them. Right, I'll leave that tab open and I'll send it you. They look really. I think kids would probably like those nowadays. To be fair, well, maybe. Yeah, little boys and little girls. I'm very sexist. I was going to go, little boys would love them, but I mean, my daughters are like, they're not really like girly anyway, so they'd be full on trying to scare people with them scary bears. Yeah, 80s toys were pretty awesome. Teddy Ruxpin, do you remember Teddy Ruxpin?
I didn't have one, but my friend had one.
Yeah, I never had a Teddy Ruxpin. I keep thinking there's something on like my eyebrow, and it's this bloody thing hanging down here that you've put on my head.
I had to click it to magic in. You had to be Christmas there.
With that. Oh God. What else is? Let's have a look. What else we got? Mr. Frosty. That was a popular one.
I can still remember theme tune for that for advert. That's ingrained in me. I'm not going to sing it. But...
I feel that you've messed it up there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Can you remember the toys? I think 80s toys. I think is definitely something we could have a good chat about this. But can you remember Mask? Did that ever ring a bell?
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell? Matt, yeah, apparently there was a big popular tour called Mask of Boulder Hill. It was a huge hit with boys in the mid-80s based on the US animated television show. So it was like, it looked like Tracy Island. It was like it was just like a mountain, but it had like a metallic kind of door in the side that you would open, I'm assuming, and then I bet that was like one of those massive toys that only the really rich kids had. Oh, now would be for younger kids, but can you remember Glowworm?
Yeah,
the green
my sister
worm.
had one. Yep.
And you used to press it, and it used to light up, and it had like well, basically this hat but green. Wow. Okay. We could go on this for ages, but did you ever have Micro Machines?
Yeah, I did. Loads of them.
Oh my god. I'm 100%. I want my Micro Machines back. I want them. I want my Micro Machines right in front of me. I didn't have like any of the big sets, but I do remember having quite a lot of the little cars, the little mic.
I had the DeLorean, like a little chunky mini DeLorean. That one my favourite.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, all old toys. Oh my god! Oh, gummy bears! Oh, I forgot there was like there was going to be gummy bears, teddy bears as well to go with the show, which is one of my favourite cartoons. That tune, and I am gonna sing it. No, I'm not gonna sing it. It's fine. Yeah, let's not. Oh, I just found a picture of the old Thundercats lair, and it looks absolutely terrible.
Yeah, my cousin had it, and I was so jealous of that. I think he had a car as well that went like the Thundercats.
The Thunder Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted that.
I want a new re-envisioned. Oh, and at the end, there's a picture of the White Arrow Express delivery vans. That's God, the blue ones with the white arrow on them. Oh, they're not a thing anymore. They probably got bought by Yodel and then they just like totally shafted it, didn't they? I like to blame Yodel. So gifts aside, we all had our favourite. We all have our favourite Christmas film. So, you go for this one. Tell me about some of your favourites. Maybe some of your favourites now. So maybe some of your favourites when you was younger.
My favourite, all out of all Christmas films, has got to be Home Alone. You can probably see it playing in the background.
I was going to ask you about that. Is that Home Alone? Because I saw the kids running around, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, is that when they're all getting ready at the start?
Yeah, it's not fully in shot, so that we don't get done for copyright. But it's playing away on my blue telly. That's showing it up as a little.
It doesn't look. Yeah, it looks kind of pinky purple. Yeah, at the moment. It's fine.
Yeah, but Alone always reminds me of being a child. I think it came out when I was like. We're 5, 6 or something like that. Maybe 4.
When did it come out?
1990, 1991. I want to say
right.
Yes, I would have been about 5, and I can remember the hype that was around that, and like what a megastar Macaulay Culkin were, and I loved that film. I loved that idea of setting up traps. I tried doing it in my own house, but obviously I couldn't have paint tins flying downstairs and Micro Machines again at the bottom of the stairs, and it just that film encapsulates Christmas for me because it gives off. It's got all best songs in it for a start. All the Christmas songs. Whenever they come on radio, I'm like, that's from Home Alone. It makes me think of Home Alone. Makes me want to watch it again. Just even with kids, like we get them on Christmas Eve. We get them new pajamas, like as a Christmas Eve present to open, and they're always Home Alone pajamas, so they always look like what you wear. So they're like some sort of tartan, button up like trousers and like a bed shirt thing.
Yeah,
it's always something like that, like what you would wear. And I quote it to kids all the time, and anytime we go to the shop, even Alice has started saying it all the time because he says right end of the film that he buys like milk, eggs, and fabric softener. Whenever Jade's like, oh, what do we need from the shop? That's what one of the kids will end up saying. Usually Alice, oh, we need milk, eggs, and fabric softener because they've watched that film a million times like I've watched it. But
you're so proud, aren't you?
Yeah, I love it that they're getting my my film knowledge and like
the references.
And all the references. They know exactly what to say and when to say it. That's always good.
Yeah, that is like.
I mean, there's a few other Christmas films that are like that we have to watch. Love Actually, but that's because the kids haven't really watched that, but me and Jade like to watch that. Scrooged. I always like watching Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Yes, I like Scrooge. Yeah,
that's a good one. I watched that with kids. National Lampoons. We watched that one with kids, even though it's not 100% child friendly. We have to watch Christmas Vacation and Santa Claus. You know the Tim Allen Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That one, because I had that on VHS. I got that for one Christmas whenever that came out. I think that was 93 or 94 or something. We got that on VHS, and I watched that like a million times. And they're my favourite. I mean, I like I like most Christmas films, but for me, they're the big heavy hitters. What about you? What are your?
Well, I agree with Home Alone. I do like Home Alone. Although it's really weird because when I was growing up, I mentioned this before, that we didn't watch a lot of films. Like, if a film came out at the cinema, we wouldn't really watch it, and it would have to wait until it came out on TV, which was a lot. I don't know if it was it quicker?
It's
years ago?
Usually about 2 or 3 years, if I remember rightly, because that's what we had to do basically. We had to wait for its like BBC One premiere or ITV premiere or whatever.
Do you remember?
Film you were waiting for.
I remember saying, I remember saying to like my mum, "Oh, there's a good film at the cinema," and then going, "It's okay, we'll wait till it comes on TV." And thinking of that memory now, I'm like, that's really sad. Like, what child would be saying, "Oh, I'll just wait a few years for it to come on TV"? Yeah. Oh dear. And then I just go and cry in my bedroom. Maybe. As a child, right, hang on a minute. So, my favourite Christmas film, and this is it's a weird one, because when I say them, I often think of a different one. And I find it hard to say that I've got one that's number one.
Yeah.
But I will say that Home Alone is one of my favourite, definitely 100% one of my favourite Christmas films. And I only probably watched it definitely within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm 41. So, it would have been in the last 10 years that I watched it. But thoroughly enjoyed it. Great film, great character. It's got great heart to it. The idea of a little boy that, could legitimately just go to the police and be like, something's happened.
Yeah.
And then they could then try and contact the parents and then sort it out. Literally, it could have been solved in like a day.
Yeah.
Very quickly. And it wasn't. He decided that he just went on his little escapades. And I love that. I think it's actually really good. I really very much enjoyed watching that film for the first time. And even watching it again every year. We tend to watch it in that week before Christmas.
We have to watch it when we put the tree up. That's our Christmas film, for putting the tree up.
One of your things that you like to do, isn't it?
Our tradition.
But yeah, thorough. And also you have it on in the background randomly as well. You forgot that.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd best turn Cyberpunk off and put Home Alone on.
Yeah.
Give me PlayStation a rest.
So yeah, Home Alone. One that I found a few years ago was Christmas with the Cranks, and I absolutely. Go on.
That's one of mine and Jade's favourite. That's a cynical one, so we like to watch that. Like usually this week on lead up to Christmas, we like. I found that one quite late as well, same as you. But that is a good.
I think I kind of feel like it's one that went under the radar a bit.
Yeah.
Like it came out, and it was that's good. But watching it again, it's like, oh my god, that's me. I'd be like, let's just go somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's forget here and family. Let's go somewhere and do something different. I mean, they had the option. Their daughter went away to do Peace Corps or whatever she's doing, and he's like, I'm not doing this Christmas. He's got his calculator out, and he's like, this cost us I think it was 6,000 or something. He got it up to, and it was that street, and it had a Ghostbuster living on the street as well, and he was there like, he was sorting out the Christmas spirits. That was it, Frohmeyer, I think his character was, and he was this very dominant. Give us Frosty. We just want Frosty. Because they want him out on the street or the roof or whatever. I know it's some on the street, but then he had always had his on the roof, didn't he? And to be honest, I'd love to live on a street where everyone had if my street next year turned right, everyone's gonna do Christmas lights. I'd be like, we'll do it. Yeah. We'll go and buy some and we'll put some. And to have that street, because I know they have it in America. Don't there was a lot, probably over here as well, where there's a lot of streets that have the whole area will be Christmas, and they all go through it, and it becomes a bit of a seasonal sort of treasure that everyone goes looking, and they have changes. And we actually know somebody that, or Karina knows somebody. Well, it's Karina's mum knows somebody. Well, Karina knows him, that has a tree. And they cover it every year. They cover it with lights. It's quite a decent sized tree. They go from the bottom and they go all the way top. They go out for the main branches and then the little branches, and it's fully lit up, and it looks amazing. And I think they actually communicate with some other people that live in another country, and it's like a bit of a friendly competition, and they do the same thing at Christmas. It's absolutely amazing, to be honest. It looks stunning. I would love a big tree just to have something fun like that on it. Christmas with Cranks. Hey, I kind of feel like he doesn't like Christmas that much, but he puts up with it. But she loves Christmas, and she fights for it, and eventually she gets away, and then she has to get that ham, the honey roast. Is it the honey roast ham? Yeah. And it gets squashed, but then somebody brings one, don't they? Is it that random guy?
Is that who turns out to be Father Christmas in like a mini or a beetle or something at end?
Yeah, he brings and he like knows everyone, and everyone's going, Do you know him? No idea who he is. Christmas with Cranks is definitely. I think it's level with. I'm going to say it's level with Home Alone in terms of. I just like it. Have you seen A Very Murray Christmas?
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've. Refresh me.
Bill Murray. It's like they're in this hotel. It's like an alternative Christmas film. It's got his, because Bill Murray can only play, as we know, Bill Murray. In fact, I watched one of his films last night. I was going to bed and I ended up putting it on and watching it. It's a new one that he's got out with Rashida Jones in it, and which is Quincy Jones' daughter. And he plays a dad, and she thinks her other half's cheating. It's not a Christmas film. She thinks that he's cheating, but he's not, and it's very good. In fact, it's made by Sofia Coppola, who made. What's my favourite film with Scarlett Johansson in it? Why is my brain...
Lost in Translation.
Oh my god, why did my brain go then? Yeah, Lost in Translation. It's made by her, and it has a similar vibe to it. Watch it. Find it and watch it. It's a really good film. It's kind of slow paced, but Bill Murray is just Bill Murray again in it. And I love him for that, because I don't want him to be anybody else. I just want him to be Bill Murray. Yeah. I'm a big Bill Murray fan, and I think he's brilliant in Scrooged. Obviously, it was one of his older films, but yeah, I do quite like him. So Very Murray Christmas is a bit of an alternative. It has lots of famous people, and George Clooney's in it. It's like an alternative look. It's on. I think it is actually on Netflix. So if you get a chance, have a look. I recommend it. A Very Murray Christmas. Don't expect a traditional Christmas film. Yeah. It is a Christmas film, but don't expect a full-on, typical sort of Christmas film. There's lots of different types of Christmas films. I mean, on Facebook, I asked my Facebook friends what their favourite Christmas films were. I'm going to very quickly run through them. There was Die Hard and also Die Harder, and we're gonna have a quick chat about that at the end. I don't want an argument, because I will come and find it. We don't need an argument. We need a friendly chat about Die Hard. We've got Elf. I tried watching Elf the other day and didn't enjoy it at all. Turned it off. But I know people love it.
I like it. I don't love it, but I'll watch it. But I don't.
I don't like the main actor.
Yeah, I don't mind him, but it's a bit much. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit. It's a 5 out of 10 for me. Elf. It's there, and I'll deal with it if it's there. That's it.
It's a 2 for me. Straight down at the bottom. Muppets Christmas Carol is another classic which people love. If you don't like Scrooge, watch Muppets Christmas Carol. Basically the same thing. It's Michael Caine as well.
It's one that passed me completely over Muppets Christmas Carol. I never really watched it. I don't even think I've ever actually watched it all the way through.
I think maybe if you find one night and you're not sure what to watch with the kids, I think they'd like it. Muppets Christmas, because it's got Michael Caine in it as well, and a big fan of Michael Caine. It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, which is the one where there's that Kris Kringle guy who thinks he's Santa Claus or something.
Richard Attenborough.
Started watching. I tried. No, it's not Richard Attenborough.
Oh, is it the other one? Oh, you watched it?
I think that's a different one. Yeah,
that's the newest one.
No,
Because there's three altogether of them.
Oh, this one that I was looking at is like 1947 or something. It's proper old black and white. And maybe there is, so I'm assuming there's a newer one then, which is better. I might see if I can catch that one. Adam, our friend Adam, has mentioned The Great Escape. Nightmare Before Christmas.
One of my favourites.
Oh yeah, he says he's put. By the way, he put The Great Escape because it's always on at Christmas. A valid reason.
Yeah, but James Bond's on at Christmas. It don't mean it's a Christmas film.
There's Nightmare Before Christmas, which I haven't seen that.
Oh, what?
I know. I might catch it actually. I think we might. Escape to Victory, another one that's on at Christmas. Gremlins. Kirsty, who I work with, has mentioned Gremlins, and Jeff, her fella, has mentioned Batman Returns. Who he likes that. Scrooge is one that we mentioned. Now Terry, our good friend Terry, has mentioned Star Wars because it's always on at Christmas.
But it's not a Christmas
film. It's not a Christmas film. When he was growing up, it was always on at Christmas. Same for me. I always remember that. And also Mary Poppins was always on at Christmas. So that is another film that you associate with Christmas. So Emma, my cousin, her husband John, he's got actually a Facebook page called Johnny's Cult Films, and he loves horror films. He does little reviews on them, and he's mentioned one that I need to watch called Rare Exports, and it's to do with finding like what is Santa, but it's like a horror twist to it. I need to watch it. 100% need to watch it. I think there's a good list of Christmas films there. There was a few that we've already mentioned that I didn't put on there, but I think that's a good list. Some that I need to watch, some that I'm not bothered about, and some that I can definitely some I can appreciate. So, for me, there are several types of Christmas films. There are films that are all about Christmas, and it's like 99% of the film. I mean, these films are like Muppets Christmas Carol, Elf, Nightmare Before Christmas, Home Alone, Christmas with the Cranks, whatever. They are all about Christmas. There's films that are set at Christmas, but it's not the main film. So for me, a film I always like to watch at Christmas is Hook. It's set at Christmas time, and then obviously it goes on to the whole Peter Pan thing. And then they come back, and it's Christmas. It's like Christmas time again. So there are films that are set at Christmas, but it's not the main theme. And then there's films that have nothing to do with Christmas, other that when we grew up, they were always on at Christmas. And these are films that become personal favourites, and you attach them to Christmas time. And it's this attachment which then kind of creates this, they are a Christmas film outlook on them. And I think all three, I can appreciate all three. And I know what you're thinking, and I know what this conversation's going towards. Very popular, it's a bit of a meme, isn't it? Everyone chats about this Christmas. But the way I look at it is, it might surprise you a little bit. And I get the difference between these films. Like Mary Poppins isn't a Christmas film at all, but because it was always shown at Christmas, when I see it, I often think about Christmas because it's an old memory. It's Christmas for me. So a film which I'm going to bring up now is obviously Die Hard, and we're going to have a small chat about Die Hard. You said you've got some thoughts about it, and I think it's good. We can have because we're not obviously at each other's throats, so I think we can look at this now. The way I look at Die Hard is it is a film. I mean, for a start, it's literally set. I'm going to start first. I mean, it's literally set at Christmas time. This is a film where John McClane is going to see his family for Christmas. It's all the way through the music, all the way through. It isn't action tunes. It's all Christmas songs. Starts off with one, it ends with one. There is several in the film itself. There's Christmas decorations everywhere. People are always referencing Christmas. There's even a weird theory about why there was there's a woman in it that's about to give birth. Now they were saying people, it's a stupid. I don't go with this, but they were saying that there's Jesus. That's a reference to, Christmas time and birth, because it's to do with like obviously the birth, isn't it? It's also a family film because I've already mentioned it, but the fact is he's trying to get his family back together. They're having issues and he wants to get back together, and that's often very much of it's a feel-good thing, often associated with that kind of Christmas time. It's about, and we all would get our families together, won't we, at Christmas? At the end of it as well, there's something that, because we watched it 2 nights ago, and we watched Die Harder as well. And Die Harder is set at Christmas time, but for me, it's not on the same level as Die Hard. There's also at the end of it, they're going after those untraceable like bearer bonds, aren't they? That they have that are worth like 600 million or whatever it is. They're all fluttering down at the end, and it's like snowfall. And often at the end of a Christmas film, you get snowfall, don't you? Oh, it's snowing. So there's all this paper which kind of simulates snow very heavily, and then there's Christmas music that kicks in, and then it's like a happy ending. And so my attitude towards Die Hard is that for me and for a lot of people, I think it's a minority, especially when it comes to adult men, it's often a minority which say it isn't a Christmas film. I think the majority will go, yeah, it's a Christmas film. And because of the time it's set, because of the reasons that the trip, if he wasn't going to, if he wasn't Christmas time, he wouldn't have been going up there. Well, I mean, he probably would have gone some other time, but he went up there specially because it was Christmas, and it's because that whole seasonal festive goodness and getting that together. It's because of all that. It's because of the music. It's because of what you see in all the decorations all the time. If you take the violence out of it, it becomes a lot more of a Christmas film. If he was going up to see his family, to get together to spend Christmas, it would be a Christmas. It would be like 10 minutes long, but it would be a Christmas film. Wouldn't it? It'd be a Christmas short. There's your Christmas. But, the action detracts from the Christmas theme. But, he even writes ho, ho, ho on one of the bodies in the lift. It comes down the lift in the elevator, it comes down, he opens the door and it says ho, ho, ho. It's written it on his, it looks like it's been written there. I don't know, he must have put a lot of effort into writing that down because it's very neat. Have you ever tried to write on fabric? It's horrible when it's on someone's body. So for me, it's a Christmas film, but more through the theme which runs through it, and not necessarily the main story is obviously the takeover of Nakatomi, the plaza, and getting the money, but as a very heavy secondary part to it, it's Christmas, and that for me makes it a Christmas film. However, if people say it's not a Christmas film, as in it's not all about it, I will gladly say, yeah, fine. I'm not going to argue them wrong, but I will say you have to see both sides of it. And I think that's the way I look at it. So if you say to me, is it a Christmas film? I will say yes. If you want to say it's not a Christmas film, it's fine. But I like to know, I think that the only reason that people say it's not a Christmas film is because it's not that Home Alone or The Scrooge. It's not all about it. And I do enjoy the film. I watch it once a year. In that run up to Christmas, I'll watch it. It's a good film. It's I don't even think it's an overrated film. I do genuinely think it's a good film. Better than the second. Second has a bit more action in it, I think, on a more of a kind of a larger scale with a plane that blows up and all the rest of it. But yeah, solid. What are your thoughts on Die Hard?
Well, I don't think it's a Christmas film. I think at the very best, it's a very weak Christmas film because the theme does not make a Christmas film. Because if you take an element out of it, like so is Going Home for Christmas, if you change that to Thanksgiving or Halloween or a birthday or for spring break or something in America, if you changed it to that, then that's removed the Christmas aspect completely. That's just motive, and then it's sort of even because it has that element that is going on for Christmas. I think it sort of gets cancelled out by the violence, because I don't think you can have a Christmas film, because all Christmas films have to have some sort of either a romance or a redemption arc of someone, and more often than not, because I can't think of every single Christmas film, they have to have some sort of happy ending. And the violence aspect, the murder.
Die Hard has a happy ending.
No, yeah, it has a happy ending, but someone has to die for that happy ending. That's what I mean. Nobody in a normal Christmas film, you don't see Kevin McAllister shanking up the two burglars, do you? You don't.
He hurt them a lot.
Yeah, but the violence in that is slapstick, which is fine for Christmas because it's light violence, and there's no real aspect to danger. But in that, there's I mean, I haven't watched Die Hard for a few years, but do they have bombs or something planted on in the building or something like that?
There is a big bomb that goes off.
I mean, there's even a terrorist aspect to it. That's another.
They're not terrorists. They're just thieves.
Yeah, but if they've got a
yeah.
bomb in a building and they've got hostages, so
C4. Yeah, they had a big bomb. They blew up in. John McClane used it and it dropped it down a lift and it took out like a whole floor of the building.
Yeah.
It was like got 9/11 all over again. It was like
exactly
took it all out. Yeah,
you don't want feel good vibes like that at Christmas. I think the Christmas films have to have like a nostalgia to them. They have to get you in a Christmassy mood. They have to make you want Christmas Day, and I don't think that does nothing. That's what I mean. Like it's at the very best it's a weak Christmas film. I mean, can you imagine watching, I don't know, Christmas with the Cranks in June when it's sunny outside, or Scrooged, say? It'd feel weird watching them outside the Christmas period, but I could gladly watch Die Hard in May or April, and it wouldn't feel weird because it's Die Hard. It's an action film. There's death, there's violence, there's peril. It does have that happy ending, but at the cost of a death. Whereas another Christmas film has an happy ending at the cost of usually someone's realization that they was doing wrong, like Scrooge. I think the basis for Scrooge is what a Christmas film is. He's a miser, is not a very nice person, and then he mends his ways through that arc, that redemption arc, towards the end to become a new person and to make other people's lives nice. And that never happens. All he's in Die Hard, all he's doing is stopping people from stealing money, and then people have to die for the sake of money. Just let him have money, and then why does he get away with killing him and stuff? And I don't. That's not fine.
Because he's a policeman and he saved the day.
Yeah, but why doesn't it get like an inquiry or something? A normal policeman can't just.
It probably did.
Throw someone off
Probably
a building. Did. But for me, it's Die Hard is definitely not a Christmas film. I don't watch it and think like, oh, I can't wait to see kids open the presents Christmas morning. It just doesn't do that. But with Home Alone or Christmas of the Cranks or Scrooge or even Elf, it gets you excited, and I like some carol singing in a film as well. I think that makes Christmassy. So I don't know if there is in Die Hard, but then that'd feel shoehorned.
Don't think there was. I mean, it's the same with Home Alone though. I mean, you could, if it wasn't Christmas time, it could be set any time, couldn't it? I mean, I think that argument's a bit loose in terms of the fact that any of these, well, a lot. Okay, so like Scrooged, that's different because it's to do with Christmas spirit, isn't it, and what have you. Yeah. But like Home Alone is just the kid. They all went on holiday.
Yeah, but
and they left the kid there, and then they got attacked by them two idiots. I mean, you could take Christmas out of that as well, and it would be still a fine film.
Yeah, but then that would be it's too ingrained in it because the like his mom.
All the weather outside is that?
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, just in the other story arcs within it, because he wishes for Christmas, like his Christmas gift is to have his family back, because the whole premise of the film is he does like a Christmas wish to wish his family away, and he wants to be on his own and all this, and then his redemption arc is not being a little shit anymore, but like it's to wish them back, and that's what holds it to Christmas, because you couldn't take out the Christmas element and then have the same film. It'd be a completely different film. Whereas Die Hard, you could take the Christmas element out and change it to Thanksgiving. He's going home to see his family there, or even, I mean, you could even switch it to he's going to a funeral on a Tuesday, and the film would still work. You know what I mean? It wouldn't. It's just him journeying somewhere, and he's being held up, and then all this other stuff's happening.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I do think because it's because of the heavy Christmas element to Die Hard, and because it's just developed its own kind of character, hasn't it? I think people just associate it with Christmas, and because of that, for a lot of people, it has become a Christmas film, and I think that's acceptable. That's all I have to really say. I think it's not a traditional Christmas film, which is what you're on about, but it is definitely.
I think it's a film on at Christmas rather than a Christmas film that it's on. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've got Star Wars or Batman or.
No, it's different. It's not, because that would be number 3 on my list of types of Christmas films, which is definitely not a Christmas film. Star Wars is definitely not a Christmas film. Mary Poppins, definitely not a Christmas film. But because Die Hard is set at Christmas, it attaches itself to Christmas time. And because of that, it's acceptable to class it as a Christmas film. I think your argument is fine, but I don't think it's enough for me to totally disagree.
I don't think Gremlins is a Christmas film either. I don't think that.
No, it's the same as Die Hard. It's the same. It's in the same. Yeah.
The whole thing is about the Gremlins. It's not.
It's
Christmas.
Sorry to interrupt. It starts with him looking for a Christmas present. So it's because of these points in it that it attaches itself to Christmas in the same vein that Die Hard did. And I think that saying you can't blanket 100% say it's not a Christmas film, because it is set at Christmas and it is about getting a Christmas present in the same time that Die Hard is about visiting for Christmas time. I think they're so strong an element that it's you can't dismiss it, even if they are like a secondary part to it. You know, Die Hard is an action violent film. That's the main theme, and then Gremlins is basically I don't want to say horror. I don't think it's like a horror. It's because it's not a horror. Is something that's supposed to like scare the hell out of you, isn't it? Really, that doesn't do that. It's
like a horror comedy at best.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you switched out the Christmas present aspect to it and changed it to birthday, the film would still work. So
it would. Yeah,
but I can
definitely.
understand why it's on at Christmas, because I think there's that nostalgia. I think whereas you can break it down into 3, I think I can break it down into 2. You've got Christmas films, which are Christmas films, like Miracle on 34th Street, about
100%. That kind of 100% Christmas
that
theme.
Is a Christmas, and then the other ones are, I'd say, it's got nostalgia, a lot of nostalgia wrapped up with small sort of threads to Christmas, so like you would do with it, like I said about James Bond or Star Wars or something like that. And I think Die Hard encapsulates that sort of. It comes under that umbrella that it is like that. Plus, I think people like the argument of whether Die Hard is a Christmas film or not as well. It gives people something to talk about. Because it's not like a violent argument, is it? So it's not. No, it's not political or anything. It's just fun. It's just fun at Christmas to.
At some point, everyone has to take a stand, whether it is or it isn't. And I do like the little banter in regards to Die Hard. Thanks for joining us on this special Christmas podcast. We've got a New Year's episode coming out on the 4th of January, where we shall discuss the events of 2020, our game of the year for 2020, and what our 2021 will hold for us as people and also as a podcast. I've been Lee.
And I've been Nathan. Have a very Merry Christmas and a good New Year. Bye.
Thanks for watching and listening to our Christmas special. Don't forget you can find us on Spotify, Facebook, Podcast Addict, Google Podcasts, and our videos live on YouTube. Thank you.